Welcome back to Standard 7 Biology class. In the previous class, we have discussed about amoeba and the general characters of kingdom fungi. Let's recall the characters of fungi. The organisms in kingdom fungi are mostly multicellular. They are plant-like, non-green and non-photosynthetic in nature. They are eukaryotic organisms and hence have a well-defined membrane-bound nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles in the cell. But the cell do not contain plastids. The cell wall of fungi is made up of chitin. Most of the fungi consist of a vegetative body which is made up of hyphae. Hyphae are long multicellular filament-like structures. A number of hyphae form a network-like structure which is called mycelium. Fungi lack chlorophyll. Hence, the nutrition is mostly heterotrophic in nature. That is, they depend upon other organisms for food. Some fungi grow on dead and decomposing plant and animal matter and absorb the nutrients from it. Such fungi are called saprotrophic fungi. Examples of saprotrophic fungi are mushrooms, mold, and toadstools. You must have seen mushrooms, no? Where do they grow? They grow mostly in decaying matter like fallen trees and all. So, mushroom is a type of saprotrophic fungi. Means they grow on dead and decomposing matter. Another type of fungi is parasitic fungi. Do you know what are parasites? They obtain their food from another living organism and they cause harm to that organism. These organisms are called as parasites. Fungi such as rust and smuts are parasitic in nature. They obtain their nutrition from another living organism. That organism is called host. Parasitic fungi causes many diseases in plants and animals. So, under kingdom fungi, let's learn about a fungus called Rhizopus, which is commonly called as bread mold. Rhizopus is called as bread mold because it mainly grows on stale or old bread. You must have seen this fungus. When the bread is kept for many days, you can see a greyish black mat-like thing growing over the bread. Have you observed it? That is the fungus bread mold or Rhizopus. It also grows on rotting fruit and on other household items such as leather, damp clothes and paper. Now let's discuss the structure of Rhizopus or bread mold. Rhizopus appear as a cottony mass which consists of thread-like multicellular filaments called hyphae. A single hyphae is a continuous column filled with cytoplasm and several nuclei. The hyphae forms a network called mycelium and it grows in all directions to obtain the nutrients from the place they grow. Some hyphae grow downwards to take in the nutrients from the medium in which they grow, such as bread. These hyphae that grow downwards is called rhizoids. They look like roots of the plants. Some hyphae grow upwards, forming long structures which is called sporangiophores. At the tip of the long sporangiophores, there is an oval structure which is called sporangium. The sporangium bears numerous spores and when the sporangium matures, it breaks open and the spores are released out. When these spores fall on a medium, it germinates and grows into a new Rhizopus. So, this is the structure of Rhizopus or bread mold. Let's recall it once again. Rhizopus consists of thread-like multicellular filaments called hyphae. Hyphae grow in all directions to obtain nutrition. The hyphae that grow downwards like roots are called rhizoids and the hyphae that grow upwards are called sporangiophores. It consists of an oval structure at its tip which is called sporangium. Inside the sporangium there are minute spores. When these spores reach a suitable medium, it germinate and grow into a new individual. So with this, we wind up today's class. Hope you have understood the class. Thank you.